Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Inflation. Inflation may be defined as a persistent rise in the general price level of goods and services. Have the types of inflation, and these are the demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, hyperinflation, persistent or creeping inflation. Demand pull inflation. This occurs when consumers have high purchasing power, leading to increase in aggregate demand without a corresponding increase in supply. In other words, this inflation occurs when the demand for goods and services is greater than the supply. Cost push inflation. This occurs when there is an increase in cost of production and are passed on to consumers in the form of high prices for the goods and services on sales. The price of goods and services are pushed up by rising costs. Hyperinflation. This is also known as galloping or runaway inflation. This occurs when a persistent inflation becomes uncontrollable and the value of money keeps declining rapidly. Prices of goods and services rise at a fast rate, leading to money losing its value or its ability to buy goods. Persistent or creeping inflation. This is also known as chronic inflation. This occurs when there is a slow but steady rise in the value of purchasing power and a fall in supply of goods and services. In other words, when inflation becomes a slow but steady rise in the general prices of goods and services, it is also known as creeping inflation. Causes of inflation. Causes of inflation are increase in demand, low production, war, increase in salaries and wages, high cost of production, budget deficits, population increase, excessive bank lending, level of importation, and hoarding. Increase in demand. When the demand for goods and services is greater than supply, this results in inflation, that is, demand pull inflation. Low production. Low production of goods and services can lead to their scarcity, and when supply cannot meet up with high demand, inflation sets in. War. War is a major cause of inflation, as people no longer produce, resulting in high volume of money pursuing fewer goods. Increase in salaries and wages. When salaries and wages are increased without corresponding increase in supply of goods and services, it can lead to excessive money in circulation, chasing few goods. High cost of production. When there is high cost of production, manufacturers build in just high cost into the cost per unit and pass it to consumers, leading to cost pull inflation. Budget deficit. When government expenditure is more than its income, it results in budget deficit, and this leads to inflation. Population increase. A sudden rise in the population will increase the demands for goods and services, and if there is no corresponding rise in supply, it will result in inflation. Excessive bank lending. This can lead to excessive bank lending in circulation, chasing few goods and services. Level of importation. High cost of importing raw materials can lead to high cost of goods, which is passed to consumers, leading to cost pull inflation. Hoarding. Hoarding is the art of creating artificial scarcity of goods, and this can lead to inflation. Effects of inflation. There are the positive effects and the negative effects. Positive effects are reduction in burden of debt, higher profit margin, higher tax yield, and higher output. The negative effects are discourages savings, increase in interest rates, income redistribution, creditors lose, loss of value of money, fall in standard of living. The positive effects of inflation. Reduction in burden of debt. During inflation, debtors gain because there is too much money in circulation, which will enable them pay their debts with ease. Higher profit margin. Because producers are selling their goods at higher prices, this will lead to higher profits. Higher tax yield. As a result of high volume of money in circulation, government is able to realize high yield from taxes. Higher output. Higher prices of goods and services during inflation encourages producers to embark on large-scale production, resulting to greater output. The negative effects of inflation. Discouraging savings. During inflation, people spend more money, leading to low or no savings. Increase in interest rates. The rate at which banks give loan to customers increases during inflation. Income redistribution. Inflation redistributes income haphazardly. There is a fall in the real income, especially of those on fixed income. Creditors lose. The value of money received is far less than the value of money lent out. Loss of value of money. Money loses its value generally during the period of inflation. Fall in standard of living. Inflation brings lots of problems to salary earners as they spend it on costly goods and services, leading to a fall in standard of living. Control of inflation. These are the use of contractionary monetary measures, the use of fiscal measures, effective price control system, reduction in government expenditure or surplus budgets, industrialization, checking the activities of hoarders, increased production, granting of subsidy to enterprises. The use of contractionary monetary measures. The use of these measures, such as increase in bank rates, open market operation, deposit ratio, and moral persuasion, can help to control inflation. Use of physical measures. Inflation can also be controlled with the use of physical measures to reduce the amount of money in circulation. Example, increase in direct taxation. Effective price control system. This can also be controlled through the use of effective price control system. Example, price control board by government officials and the application of rationing to maintain price level. Reduction in government expenditure or surplus budget. The government should reduce expenditure, and it will go a long way towards reducing the amount of money in circulation. Industrialization. Industrialization will reduce over-reliance on imported goods and bring about increase in output, which will reduce prices. Checking the activities of hoarders. The activities of hoarders should be checked to prevent increase in prices of goods. Increased production. Inflation can be controlled by increasing production or output in order to bring down the prices of goods. Granting of subsidy to enterprises. Here, inflation can also be controlled by granting subsidy to enterprises and companies producing essential products to reduce cost of production and the product prices. Deflation. This may be defined as a continuous fall in the price level of goods and services as a result of decrease in the volume of money in circulation. Causes of deflation are budget surplus, increase in bank rates, increase in production, increase in taxation. Budget surplus. This serves as a device by which the rate of injecting money into circulation was reduced. Increase in bank rates. This serves to discourage commercial banks from borrowing from the central bank, and by doing so reduces the bank's ability to lend money. leading to the reduction in the money in circulation. Increase in production. Here, the increase in production of goods and services without corresponding increase in the volume of money in circulation can lead to deflation. Increase in taxation. When taxation is increased, it will definitely reduce the volume of money in circulation, thereby causing deflation to occur. Effects of deflation. The effects of deflation are decline in profits, results in unemployment, fall in the prices of goods, reduction in investments, creditors gain, encourages exports, discourages imports, fixed income earners gain, increase in the value of money, encourages savings. Decline in profits. Deflation causes a decline in profits as a result of low volume of money in circulation. Results in unemployment. Deflation brings about unemployment in the labor market, fall in the prices of goods. As a result of decline in the volume of money in circulation, the prices of goods and services tends to fall. Reduction in investments. As a result of low savings, the level of investment tends to be reduced. Creditors gain. Here, creditors gain because money has added value during the period of deflation. It encourages exports. That is to say, goods that are to be exported are generally very cheap during deflation. Discourages imports. Goods imported are generally more expensive, and there is no hope of selling such goods in the economy that is experiencing deflation. Fixed income earners gain. During the period of deflation, fixed income earners gain because the wages are fixed and they are able to buy more goods and services. Increase in the value of money. There is an increase in the value of money due to the fact that its supply is lower than its demand. It encourages savings. Savings is encouraged because the value of money increases during deflation. Control of deflation. Control of deflation are reduction in taxation, use of deficit budgeting, reduction in bank rates, increase in wages and salaries, use of open market operation. Reduction in taxation. This practice enables people to have more money, thereby increasing their purchasing power and controlling deflation. Use of deficit budgeting. The use of deficit budgeting. Here, the increase in government expenditure helps to inject more money into circulation by curbing the effects of deflation. Reduction in bank rates. This will assist investors to borrow more money from banks, thereby increasing the volume of money in circulation. Increase in the wages and salary. This will help to inject more money into circulation, thereby controlling deflation. The use of open market operation. Here, the central bank does this by purchasing securities from commercial banks. This makes it possible for the commercial banks to be able to lend money out and increase the volume of money in circulation.